What's up guys? Today's video we're going to be doing an unboxing, as you can see, of parts that I bought for the Nova for this winter's upgrades. So let's start unboxing stuff. Okay, so we'll start with this box first. It's like Christmas morning over here. In this box is control arms. So these are TRZ Motorsports, made in the USA. Upper control arms, the lower control arms. There's a lower. Comes with ball joints, that's one there. And then these TRZ steering arms. Two of them. Okay, so that box is done. The reason I bought the steering arms along with that is because I also bought a steering rack. Get everything out of here without it falling. And I'll explain to you what all this stuff is here. Alright, so here is the TRZ steering rack. Tie rod ends and the bump steer kit. Steering shaft, which I'm assuming it's chromoly. This is the steering U-joint, so it comes with 3 U-joints so that you can run the steering shaft the way you want to run it. The bracket that holds it on this side, and then on this side we have another bracket that welds on, and then the steering rack kind of just sits in here, and there's a clamp that holds it on, which of course we'll get into more as we're doing the install. So that's all the steering stuff. And then I also bought, which I ordered from Summit and I just got today, or yesterday I should say, some 1 5/8 chromoly. There's a cross member in here that goes between the control arms. I'm gonna cut that control arm or that cross member out, and I'm gonna weld the chromoly in, and then pretty much this tube, this bracket here goes onto the tube, and then it goes down to between the engine. The car already has a removable cross member in the front, which I am going to remove and replace. And I'm probably going to weld it in solid because with this new engine setup, the LS engine, the oil pan and that, I can actually remove the oil pan without dropping it. I had originally made it removable so I could pull my small block oil pan. These are the instructions for TRZ, and here's just a picture of what it looks like. And that's basically what I'm going to do. I also got some 1 1/8 tubing here, which I'm going to use to put kind of like bracing from here to here, something like that. And I'll have some tubing left over for other projects in the future. So that is that stuff. So that's what I'm doing. I wanted to upgrade the steering, make the car steer better. The original steering the steering box is getting pretty worn out. It's very, you know, the wheel, it's got a lot of movement in it, driving on the street. I want to make it nicer, street drivable, plus also nicer for racing. Plus I'm going to lose a bunch of weight, 50, 60 pounds off the front by doing all this, I hope. And now we'll move on to what's in the rest of the boxes. I already unboxed these, kind of put them together. I'm sure by the size of the box you can tell what they probably are. But they are new seats. So I decided to upgrade from my old school race buckets to these style. So here you can see these seats are made by Summit, or at least they're sold by Summit Racing. They're a copy of a Kirkey brand. Here's the These are the 18-inch ones. And that's the part number right there. And then I also got these aluminum install brackets. Comes with all the bolts, etc. And then these are what I have now, which is the old school, you know, fiberglass or plastic racing bucket seats, which are not very comfortable. I've had them in the car forever and ever, and I'm definitely used to sitting in them, but they're just not as comfortable as they could be. You know, getting older, it'd be nice to have something a little more comfortable. And I mean, these seats, while they don't have a lot of padding, I'm sure most of you guys have sat in Kirkey seats before, they are more comfortable the way they're made. They're bolstered, you know, here they got cushion and they got padding all up in there, so they're pretty nice. One of the things I really like about these seats over like the Kirkey ones, and really the seats aren't much cheaper. The Kirkey ones are like $20 more a seat for the seat, like the aluminum part of the seat, but the cover, these were like, the price is 68 American, I think, for the covers, and the Kirkey ones are like 125. I don't know, maybe they're made better, but the one thing I like about these that I don't like about the Kirkeys is they don't say anything on them. They're just black, which is what I want. I didn't want a seat that said Kirkey on it or Jags. The Jags ones actually say Jags on them, which is great, but I don't want a seat that says Jags or Kirkey. Or I just want a nice plain seat, black. The only thing that I'm not sure of, do I want to leave these seats aluminum color on the back, or should I paint them black to make them kind of blend in more? Actually, Jags does sell ones that come in black, but some it does not. New head gasket for the engine, because like I said, it was leaking some water, so I think it's the head gasket. So I ordered a new LS9 head gasket while I was ordering stuff. I also ordered a transmission, Powerglide transmission like seal kit, because I got some oil that leaks in the trans, so I thought maybe on the outside, so I thought I'd maybe replace some of the gaskets and O-rings and stuff to while I have the trans out, because I think I'm going to have to pull the engine to do the steering rack, because as you can see, there's not a lot of room to work. And I mean, I'd have to pull the engine out anyways to figure out cylinder head issue, gasket, whatever. I mean, I could pull the head off in the car, but I think for the work that it's going to take, I might as well pull it out. I can kind of inspect the engine and stuff like that and make sure everything's good for next year, for this year, I should say, this season, along with getting all this steering components in and all that stuff. Little GTO update. It's in primer again, hopefully for the last time. It laid down really nice. The guy coated it again. Pretty much ready to start blocking with the 400 now, between the last GTO video and this one. I never filmed because just more of the same repetition. But when I do the blocking of the 400, I might wet sand it. I'll probably shoot a little bit of video on that. And then I'm hoping pretty soon that it will be ready to paint. At least, well, the car should be ready to paint, so I'm hoping to be able to pull the doors off. I want to paint all the jams, and like this part has to get painted, and all like inside has to get painted, all here, all up in here, door jams of the door. So I kind of want to do that first. So once I get it blocked, I'm hoping to blow it all apart, put the doors up on stands or whatever, and then get paint and paint all that stuff, I'm hoping. And then assemble the car back together, line everything up. I got the gaps lined up pretty well now, I think. And then decide on how I'm gonna paint the rest of the car, whether I'm gonna try to do it myself or take it to a body shop, etc. So anyways, that's the GTO. The TRZ stuff, obviously not sponsored by TRZ, but really nice stuff. Pete helped me out. He got me a good deal on the stuff. So if you need any TRZ stuff, you know where you should get it from. So what I'm gonna do today now, I think, is start on the seats first, do the seats. That's the easiest, plus As you can see, they're in the way and they're big, and I don't want to put them in my house, so I think I'm gonna slide the car over a bit to have better access, and then we'll start removing those old seats, and then I can also get those seats out and maybe sell them to somebody, and start figuring out how to mount these ones up. Well, that was terrible. So yes, I use wood to hold the seats down. Got the seat sitting in there.